Testing. Microphone working? Yes, now it's working. Good thing I checked that from now on, because that could have been bad. Yeah, looks like everything is good to go. Got a drink next to me. And yep, looks like everything is good to go. So, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. One. Let's see, as this diagonal side, as the blue lash, we got Doomsday 31415. That is the initial digits for pi. Spawn as the other diagonal orange star adder, we got Profeta 7. Coming out as well, looks like Lash does have airport here, one turn away. Of course, neither these players Andy, so both the players know what an airport is. By the way, let's see, this map is a little bit interesting. It is a lot of water there, so it's a hybrid map. We got a seaport here, covered in shores, meant for only landers. We do have blue seaports here as well. Column towers in the center. And yeah. 2 base? It is a 3 base map. Player 2 start off 3 infantry. Player 1 starts with 1. And player 2 also starts with additional infantry unit there. This is high funds. That explains why this is a naval map, because naval maps pretty much requires high funds. It's not Days of Ruin. Another battleport, not necessarily another battlecopter, a battlecopter. It feels pretty early, being turn 3, but is high funds. Lash has gone for her own battlecopter as well. Lots of infantry. Another battlecopter by Adder. Another battlecopter by Lash. So got quite a bit of battlecopters. Anti-air here, quite understandable, and anti-air down south, so double anti-air and a battlecopter. Then comes 20,000 for 22,000, so we got deployments that come fast. Let's see, battleship could lock down this base here. Airport, don't think it can be locked down by a aircraft carrier. Artillery in the corner, tank there, and another tank over here. Adder's gone pretty quiet over here. Lash definitely got a bit more down here in comparison. Another tank, battlecopter. Another anti-air. And battlecopter heading down south for the winter. And infantry. Interrupts the capture. First compound will be captured next turn. This one can be captured. Actually, can be interrupted. Will be second anti-air. There's another infantry unit there. Adder gets some good shots on in. Does not take the anti-air. Took quite a bit of retaliation there. Extra defense stars was, or offense firepower on the defense was nice to Lash, even though it's at 3 health. Counterattack as well, looks like she will win that fight. Adder has his power available. We do have a bomber here. Tank, bomber, and infantry and anti-air. 40,000 versus 44,000. Side slip activated there. Bombs away. But in range the anti-air. We'll try to occupy it, but remember as well. Actually, no, can't reach that way. There's a mountain in front of him. Battlecopter should be able to clear up that tank there, but now there's an infantry in front of it. Another bomber. The bomber seems safe enough there. Does manage to check a battlecopter down there. We do have terrain tactics, not very useful. Be very situationally useful going through forests, and that's pretty much it. Does take out anti-air there. Does hit that anti-air twice. We do have another anti-air over here. That's with their move range overpower, so Wu needs superpower to range that bomber, so not likely. Battlecopter does hit battlecopter, infantry hits infantry, infantry also hits the infantry. Anti-air. Their arms are desynced, so they're trying to do the wave, but poorly. Prime tactics could be deployed out next turn. We do have a battleship on the field. And we do have the battlecopter occupying the seaport there. Terrain tactics is now online. The double bomber here, Adder could crush through the anti-airs, no problem. I would say anti-aircraft carrier, but I don't think anti-aircraft carrier would like being bombed. Another anti-air, another bomber, another tank. Anti-air heading down south. And infantry. Here comes terrain or prime tactics, or maybe not. Fighter deploying the field, which is quite understandable, but it's going to have quite a bit of long distance for it to sortie. Mech. Battleship is very well in range of that base there. Very nice. One of these bombers need to make his way down south. It's more than a turn away. Fighter would be a bit farther away though. Anti-air will hit tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits anti-air. He's trying to go. Yep, he's trying to get enough power charge for a side slip. Let's see how far he reaches out. Does strike the mech there. Does not take it out. Does take it out there. Bomber will occupy the base there. All of your base belongs to us. And now these anti-airs are trapped, so Adder has secured this base there, and this bomber can bomb whatever comes out of this seaport. Fighter, tank, black boat. Anti-air. Do have 180 on the field. Last turns. Now I've got prime tactics. Double defense stars. Bomber takes out the anti-air. Tank hits tank. Tank hits anti-air. Adder's starting to lose quite a bit of ground here. Battleship also does cover the seaport there. And with one... I thought Reefs had 2 defense stars. Am I crazy? First one they had 2 defense stars. Guess I only have 1. I guess I haven't cast water in such a long time. I just don't know. I could have sworn they had 2 defense stars. Battleship is just gonna get bombed. So much from Oblivion into Skyrim. After the lab, is that the only lab on his side of the map? He actually needs to capture his lab. This lab has 4 capture parks remaining. Does he realize that this is not captured? Bomber? Oh, double defense stars is allowing that bomber or battleship take quite a beating there. I'm curious about something. That won't one-shot it. Can the bomber strike that artillery through double defense stars? No, I think that infantry is actually safe enough to well, stay alive. This is actually a really big threat right there, but I think a lash should be fine enough. Keyword enough. Double defense 4 stars actually being very useful to prevent the quote-unquote HQ cap, or lab cap. Aircraft carrier. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen this model. I see it more often in Days of Ruin because it's actually very useful maintaining constant pressure with the air units. And here, this base looks like will be occupied. Next base does not get occupied at the moment. Goes to the seaport there. Oh, fighter occupies it. And we do have an aircraft carrier over here. Aircraft carriers do have quite a bit of range. Takes out the black boat, the battleship. Takes out the anti-air, capturing the base there, stops capturing the lab. It's not critical capturing it entirely since the other lab has been secured. Neo tank. Battlecopter tank. Fighter. We've got a mega tank here as well. There's nothing much over here to stop it. Black boat goes for a bit of naval landing. Need to start securing up this base. Adder could try zooming up the mega tank with a battleship. Adder's turn. It's for 149,000 for 134. So in favor of Lash at the moment, but only a small advantage. Pops a side slip. Battlecopter hits Battlecopter. Does not take it out. Was that a bad luck roll? It all depends on what percentage health that Battlecopter has, so... Catching some properties over here. Bomber, fighter, advanced way forward. Aircraft carrier providing some coverage. Battleship over here. New tank, another fighter. Anti-air takes out the battlecopter. Aircraft carriers out of range. Resupplies that battlecopter there. Do have the rocket. I'm playing some Command & Conquer Tiberium campaign again, so I have the term "we got the rocket" stuck in my head. Does got the one health infantry unit there. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Fighter heading over here. Battleship heading down south. Bomber heading over to the west. Another battlecopter, infantry, and secondary battleship. Hits the infantry unit there twice. Mega tank advancing. Here's the thing as well with high funds. It's a bit more feasible to throw enough units into the mega tank to drain all of its ammo. So Lash may want to get our APC over here just in case. This base is now secured, which may not be super useful. Have to deploy fast light units to get over here relatively quickly. Tanks and anti-airs. Battlecopter infantry. We do have a submarine. Guess out that tank there and there. Rotating some units around, does go for a submarine. Could go for a cruiser. Cruiser would be a good idea to counter a submarine, as well as help police the central channel of aircraft. Do now terrain tactics. So she's able to get perfect movement. I don't know how useful this will be. Tank pushes forward slightly. Yep, I don't really cast naval all too much. Then again, I don't really cast high funds all too much, and that's generally only when naval is useful. Does dive there. I tend to cast more Days of Ruin naval, and those are mostly hybrid maps. And that's still not that many. Battlecopter, artillery, got a cruiser, artillery, another artillery. Did she actually use the effects of terrain tactics? I wasn't paying close enough attention, but that was a very not good terrain tactics. It would have been better to save for the prime tactics. I'm not sure why she popped terrain tactics there. Oh, you know, these bombs actually starting to run low on fuel. They can load them the aircraft carrier. Oh, got an APC here. Submarine dives. Mega tank infantry. Another infantry. Adder's flank over here seemed a little bit weak, but there's nothing really here to counter the Neo tank. Just getting zoned out by the battleship. Now this is a turn where this turn red has no idea where the blue submarine may have went. Anti-air bomber, anti-air, another artillery over here. Anti-air, bomber, artillery, anti-air. As a turn where now both players lost track of their opponent's submarine. Wonder if you saw the supply action there on the submarine. Submarine got resupplied. In comparison, it has 12 more fuel at the moment. A rocket. Black boat. It got a bit of a stalemate going on. Artillery, fighter artillery. It originally had 48 fuel. Looks like it does consume 5 fuel per turn. Fighter strikes bomber, knocks it out. Rocket, tank, infantry, and fighter. Another relatively idle turn. So it did take out the bomber there, which is a nice trade. Fuel fighter could fall back to the aircraft carrier and just start getting healed up in the front line. I'm pretty sure they get healed up in aircraft carriers in Advanced Wars by Web. I actually don't know. Don't think I've ever seen an aircraft carrier garrisoned in this game. Pretty sure they do in Dual Strike. But to be frank, that's not really common either. Mega tank, bomber, infantry. Because how much are anti-aircraft carriers? A stupid 30,000? These were in the cost 25,000. At least they have access to seaplanes. Repositioning the front line. Submarine still lurking about, but they both only have one submarine on the field, so no wolf pack. Reposition the front line. Mega tank, anti-air, a lot of weights. Weight up. Probably should ask to see what the maximum units. Both players have a staggering amount of force in the field, 543 versus 512. So when the conflagration happens, both players will get their power repeatedly. Even Lash, 7 stars plus 5 stars. Battlecopter, tank, mega tank. Yeah, I am curious. Not log, not messages, wrong button. Menu, info, unit limit 60. Stealth bombs and black bombs are... Does not resupply the field, it needs to wait the end of the turn. Howdy. Yep, I had to take a week off. Work was really overloading me. I'm still doing that same project, but it's not too bad right now. I just have to reroute, reposition 160 Ethernet cables in solid offices and re-terminate them in cubicles that are made of fiberglass. So yeah, my hands are a little bit on fire and dried out. Looks like another reposition. Just gonna fast forward. I'm just gonna continue fast forwarding. Because right now it's just repositioning. Adder is at the unit cap. He could start deleting some units he does not necessarily need, like regular infantry units if he wants more units in the field. Or save the money. He is throwing units inside of the tank to drain its ammo. He actually has no APC over here for the mega tanks, and not only did that one. That's one way to delete a unit. Adder has a superpower, which allows him to get the first strike a bit more reliably. But of course, if Lash could push forward and pop prime tactics near the end of the turn, just so she can withstand the counterattack. I have no idea how this is going to go, honestly. Adder's creep his way forward, takes out that infantry unit it's capturing, got another battlecopter, more mega tanks. So I haven't seen more submarines. Flash does pull back a little bit there. Bomber, mega tank. 174,000 on the field versus or 743,000 on the field versus 695,000. This is just getting ridiculously large. Does push forward a couple tanks. Does manage to strike the fighter there with a fighter. Pops to prime tactics. She can push forward with a little bit more resistance. Blackboat finds the submarine. I think that's a good thing. Submarines, thanks to prime tactics, has perfect movement, able to range the submarine with her own submarine. Bomber does strike battleship. Mega tank hits tank. Mega tank hits mega tank. One shot at it because of 6 defense stars. Does hit the black boat there. And she's going to just entrench herself, so has good number of indirects. This is probably the turn for either sidewheel slip or even a full sidewinder. Sidewinder, if he wants to push this flank, he only needs a side slip for this flank. He is going to have to fight through the extra defense. Here comes sidewinder. This is probably the turn that determines the outcome of this game. Lash right now is 776 with double defense versus a 612. He is behind, but he is in range. Battleship gets the first strike, hits the units on open ground, is good. Somehow Rocket only takes 3 points of damage there, another 4 points there because things double defense stars. Fighter does take out the battleship, or bomber. Fighter does take out another bomber. Aircraft carrier takes out fighter. Bomber strikes black boat. Cruiser nails a submarine. Exposed artillery gets hit there. Mega tanks advance way forward using the APC as a blocker. Bomber strikes cruiser with double defense stars. Takes out the APC there. Mega tank hits mega tank. Mega tank hits mega tank. Takes it out. Artillery hits mega tank. Mega tank hits mega tank. Bomber hits regular tank there. Regular tank hits mega tank. Battleship gets struck by a 5 health rocket and then bombed. Looks like an aircraft carrier strikes the fighter there. Does not take it out. Somehow, wait, does fighters not take out air fighters in one shot? Did she just run abysmal luck? The plus 10% power here saved it and rolled abysmal luck. Without it, it would have been an easy kill. Oh, abysmal luck. It is at only 1 health, so it's not like suitable. But it's fighter. Another prime tactics. She's going to be a anvil this game. Hits the bomber. Tanks advancing. Anti-air hits infantry. Anti-air hits infantry. Artillery advances. Previously I played a turn-based strategy, maybe not perfect, but I enjoyed it. Maybe this one's much better, but also much more complicated. Too lazy to learn new. This one's also older. Game Boy Advance and the early DS. Bomber infantry. A lot of waiting. Wait. This is also web version as well, and it's perfectly free as well. Hope enjoy. And it looks like Adder has resigned. I think this chain of prime tactics is going to come on in was just going to cause too much issues for him, so he decides to resign. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Did I forget to hit the record button in that game? Oh well, I may have actually hit it. I kept on doing that for my first game each day. Oh well. Guess that one's going to be stream exclusive. Let's see, that's this one here. And let's go for this one. And that seems good. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on bottom left side as the Green Earth Adder, we got Dombey Fortune. Spawn top right side as a Blue Moon Jess, we got Red B Maw, I think. Either way, let's get started. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport. This base has a long way to get the front line. Has to break through, open the pipe scene in order to get to the front line somewhat in a reasonable time. Both players do start for cruiser here for basic defense and for vision. Early recon. Just vehicles, of course, get plus 10% firepower. Sorry, I just saw something. Another recon. So double recon by Jess. Adder has gone for a tank, which is good to counter recons. Another tank here. 9,000 versus 8,000 income. Recon, reconnoitering area, does spot some infantry units there. This one could be spotted this turn. Out of range of the tank though. Another tank, infantry. So far Adder's has gone for triple tanks. Jess has gone for 2 recons and tank last turn. Recon does get into the forest there. Tank, infantry. There are also 2 comm towers per person, though these are very contestable, while this one's very safe. Tank does get trapped by a recon. Recon does hit infantry. Recon hits infantry and gets gunned down there. Interrupts the catch of this comm tower, very nice. Tank does hit the recon there, and will get machine gunned down. It does manage to strike another recon there, takes up both recons. 10 capture progress remaining onto this comm tower. It can easily be cleaned up by these nearby infantry units, like that one, from capturing it. Jess has got a nice core of tanks heading up north. Anti-air recon and infantry. He saw that unit there, so this comm tower will be captured by Jess, which is going to be very nice. Adder's connecting up this comm tower as well. Does spot this tank here. This tank's going to be exposed. Will be hit by multiple tanks next turn. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Just as battlecopters as she have deploys them out, we'll only have -10% firepower, which is not too terrible since there's also comm towers to recover that. Just took that tank down with minimal damage in turn. She still has 9 health on that tank. Adder cannot push forward this tank, get a retaliation shot on this tank here. Decides to do it either way. Pops a side slip, so maybe that's his plan. Anti-air hits infantry. Sends the infantry even farther north. Hits that infantry unit there. Hits that infantry unit there. Capturing up the city down south. Hits that infantry twice and captures that city there. Hits the infantry unit here. But this can still be interrupted. Anti-air artillery and infantry. Anti-air gets double tapped. Do now have a turbocharge in return. She gets plus movement range on her vehicles as well as a bit of firepower. Did a bit more than interrupt that capture. Tank hits tank. I think Adder may have been too aggressive that turn. Does get trapped there. Tank, and infantry. Hits the recon, guns down the tank, or recon. Since I sort of fast forward there, I didn't realize the battlecopter got boosted by the cruiser. Oh, that disoriented me a bit more than I expected. Tank, and infantry. Adder's about a full turn behind. So that infantry unit there. It's this one as well. Tank, infantry, and anti-air. 101 versus 88. Adder is falling a little bit behind, but nothing too significant at this moment. Can't interrupt this capture. Recon reconnoitering up north could be struck by the tank and anti-air, but it's out of vision range at the moment. Anti-air tank and commits base skip. Spots the recon there. Recon gets hit twice. This tank is in vision range, but will not be struck there. Adder could push for this tank here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tank, infantry. Tank does strike the tank. Tank could strike the other tank. Very nice. With that, Adder got a pretty good grasp of the north. Infantry down south getting hit. Hits the tank there as well, on top of his own city, so we'll get some repairs. Battlecopter, infantry, and recon. Turbocharge now deployed. Good strikes there on those tanks. That pulse movement range is really handy. Adder should know what that feels like. Adder losing quite a bit up north, a considerable amount. Taking up to a medium tank could be quite nice. However, Jess goes for a medium tank instead, and a pair of infantry. Pops his own side slip. Recon forward, in range the artillery. It's the infantry, not the artillery. It's the anti-air. Finish off the anti-air there. Anti-air hits infantry. We'll be capturing the comm tower there. This is going to be a secure capture. Right now, Jess is at 3 comm towers. A bit of a problem for Adder. Artillery gets a good strike there in tank. Tank hits tank. Anti-air. And gets machine gun a little bit. I'll capture some cities up north. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Adder follows up another side slip this turn. Recon reconnoitering that tank. Interrupts the capture and loses the infantry unit in the process. Tank hits tank. Tank hits artillery. Infantry unit does not finish off. Infantry unit there does finish off. Tank hits tank. Hits the infantry unit there twice and captures that property there. Adder now has 2 comm towers, if I had not made that clear. Tank, and infantry. Tank hits tank. We have now another turbocharge available. Anti-air, infantry, and battlecopter. Medium tank has been spotted. Adder can get a first strike there with the battlecopter. It's probably a good course of action. Hits the anti-air. Hits the medium tank. Try and capture some properties. Gotta be careful. Don't park your battlecopter next to the cruiser. Medium tank, infantry. Pipe scene still not destroyed. Turbocharge now activated. Anti-air hits anti-air. Picks up the anti-air. Put some rounds of that tank there. Adder has his power available. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Medium tank hits regular tank. Right now, just at 22,000 income. Adder's down 16, so he's lost a good number of properties that turn. Did flip a property there. Pops his own power there. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Anti-air puts some rounds into it. Tank hits tank. Medium tank does take out the anti-air. Tank hits tank. Adder's trying to stabilize his flank. Needs some more infantry deployed on the field. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, and infantry. Hits the anti-air there. Making good progress down south. Neo tank infantry. It's a tank there. Does get trapped. It's that tank there hits infantry unit. And again. Infantry, anti-air, tank, and nothing else. Hits the infantry unit there. Tank hits infantry. And there as well. Battlecopter hits the tank there. Medium tank hits tank. Infantry hits the infantry. And tank gets struck there as well. Good clean sweep there by Jess. Instead of 113 versus 80,000. Adder's starting to fall pretty far behind. Both players have the power. Adder's falling back overall this turn. Tank, and infantry. Tank, and infantry. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. It's the anti-air. Jess right now only has 2 battlecopters field, both now are full health. And trying to flip this comm tower there could be interrupted by this 9 health one. And by this full health one. In fact, could be fully stopped probably next turn. Adder's trying to make some progress up north to catch up these properties, but he's still pretty far behind. 16,000 versus 22,000 income. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, and infantry. Size lift activated there. Interrupts the capture. Tank hits tank. Infantry hits infantry. Medium tank does not strike the medium tank there. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Got Neo tank here ready to get first strike with that medium tank. That's going to be a massive loss for Adder. This is definitely a good idea, maybe to really ensure that medium tank goes down, pop a turbocharge, maybe even save it for full overdrive. Sacks that anti-air there, hits the tank there, and just got the regular turbocharge there. Medium tank hits regular tank. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Gets gunned down by infantry unit there. One defense star nails the medium tank very hard, and it's probably game losing with this going down like that. Adder has no real proper counter to the Neo tank at the moment. Battlecopter is more of a soft counter than a hard counter, in my opinion. Tank anti-air. Set infantry unit twice. Try and flip this comm tower here. Both towers are currently 2 comm towers at the moment. Artillery, infantry, and saves 8,000 money. Or funds. Trying to clean up some stuff down south. Does get a trap up here. Europe is captured even further. Side slip could be popped in the field. Does get popped in the field. And I have no idea how he's going to deal with that Neo tank. He only has regular tanks nearby. And hits the resign button. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. There we go, that cleaned up all the errors. Give me a moment to adjust live stream. And that looks pretty good. So, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another... Why am I drawing blank? Advanced Wars by Web Replays. Well, on the south side as the... What is this? Umbra Wilds Kindle. We got Mooks. Spawn on the north side is the Purple Lightning Drake. We got Yami Requiem, I think. Either way, let's get started. This map is a 3-base map. 1 airport. Comm towers in the center, labs in here, but there's HQ, so the labs are effectively nothing. Large number of pipe scenes here. Hachi go for can put pipe runners here and utilize pipe scenes. Doesn't mean a Hachi player should, or we'll ever see a Hachi again. I think I'll ever cast one game with Hachi, and that was an April Fool's game involving Hachi versus Colon. Recon. Tank infantry. Tank infantry. And we've got T-Copter by Kindle. That's interesting. Drake's recon is heading down south along with the tank. Kindle does have a tank over here. Battlecopter, infantry, and commits base skip. Recon spots the infantry that's capturing up the city. How damning. Got another boost there. Tank pushing forward into the forest. Another tank up here. Wait. Did I ever see him dismount that infantry unit there? He must gonna be pushing even farther forward. Oh, I'm going crazy. T-Copter way forward. Battlecopter there. Recon, infantry, and artillery. It's the T-Copter now. There was an infantry unit inside of it. Tank, and infantry. I hear a lot of captures there. 16 versus 13 properties. Tank, infantry. Anti-air infantry and infantry. Takes the recon there, tank hits tank, and infantry unit puts some rounds into it. Does not interrupt the capture of the comm tower. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, infantry. Tank, and recon. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. So it looks like Kindle's gone so far for 3 battlecopters. Drake has gone for 0 because his battlecopters are horrible at minus 30% firepower. He does have 1 comm tower to help equalize that, but it's still not great. I see a lot of stupid things happen from Drake's battlecopters. Tank, and anti-air. Let's hit that unit there. Trying to resume the capture there. Anti-air. It's that infantry unit twice. Tank gets a little bit too close to this tank here. Now going to see some retaliation damage. There's that infantry unit there. This one can push forward in the city, get a plus 40% firepower on the nearby infantry unit there. Or the battlecopter head up north and nuke the recon. But the battlecopter may want to head into the center towards this tank here. And these things can engage the anti-air, which is in vision range thanks to this tank here. Kiddo has access to Urban Blight. It does get the battlecopter down south here. Tank hits tank, or tank hits anti-air. Drake has now access to a tsunami. Artillery tank. Same unit there, but does get in range of the artillery, but the artillery does get struck for a decent amount of damage. Kindle's turn. She could pop an Urban Blight. Let's see. I see a couple tanks. Whoops. Knocked over that empty can. Do see a pair of tanks and infantry unit onto properties. But that's about it. So it's not going to be a great turn for Urban Blight, I would say. Good strikes up north. We do have now a high society available. She does have 21 properties. I'll combine that with other things, such as the comm. So this is actually the more correct number. This does add up all the correct properties. 22,000 or 22 means plus 66% firepower bonus, which is quite nice. And we likely will see a typhoon this turn. Yep, there we go. Right now, this is not going to be a good turn for an Urban Blight still. Drake's done a good job keeping everything off of properties. It's actually probably a better turn for a high society. She's going to be a little bit defensive, trying to reorganize, because the rain does reduce vision. Tank, infantry, and tank. Looks like Drake's overall just repositioning this turn. It also has her high society available. Tank, and infantry. Does get a good round of that tank, takes it out. Infantry units so push forward to draw some fire. Capture some properties in the center. Capture the properties is going to be very nice for high society later on. I need to get out an APC relatively soon. 24 and 18 fuel. Hits the tank there twice. Hits the infantry unit there. Hits the infantry unit on top of the city. Drake in his turn of 161,000 fueled. Kindle starts her turn of 137, so she is about a full turn behind. But this is probably a good turn for high society. This is going to be no high society this turn. Battlecopter, infantry, APC, and tank. Picks off a good number of units there. Hits that tank twice. Hits the anti-artillery as well. Drake's getting some great work done this turn. Now I'm more affirmed that high societies be good this turn. Aim for more properties she could capture. Nope, nothing's being captured at the moment. He supplies the battlecopters, but now she does have 66% firepower across all units. Actually, no, it has a little bit more. This is 69% increased firepower across the entire board, which is very significant. Artillery takes out that unit there. Infantry does take out infantry unit in one hit. The anti-air is doing around 2% damage there. Tank hits that go through the APC. Battlecopter, give you a comparison of how much firepower she's doing right now, the battlecopter versus 0 defense stars. A reliable one-shot. Against planes, it is a bit of a luck roll against her. It's the unit on top of the city there. Gets absurd firepower benefits there. On top of her city, she gets additional 130% firepower. Not to mention her, it's plus 69%, minus 30% of that. That's a reliable one-shot there. So that unit there. Tank hits anti-air, tank hits anti-air. Battlecopter hits tank, does not finish it off. Does not take out the recon there, I thought that would. But here comes another tsunami, or typhoon. She did end her turn of 144,000 versus 123. Now down 113. Brings up a good number of these tanks over here. Tank, infantry, and anti-air. Pulls back those tanks. Recon straightforward. This artillery's in range, able to has this picking and choosing of 3 tanks. One of them in open ground and 7 health. Does not take out that tank there. Good sweep up north by Drake. You know, doesn't really have too much in this region. Anti-air, tank, and recon. It's the battlecopter there. The Neo tank is forward. Anti-air. It's the infantry unit there. Infantry, and anti-air. Tank, battlecopter, commit space skip. I think something may have just fell out of the sky due to the lack of fuel. Not sure what though. Lots of weights. Infantry, tank. Does hit that infantry unit up north. Hits this unit. Hits that unit there. Hits the recon. Anti-air tank. Neo tank takes out a radar tank there. Pops a urban blight there. Strikes the anti-air tank recon. Hits the infantry unit over here. Interrupts this capture as well. And the comm tower capture as well. A lot of good interrupts there. Get a nice boosted strike there of plus 80% firepower. And there's well allow her to reliably one-shot some of these tanks. Battlecopter does finish off the anti-air. Infantry does interrupt it even further. Battlecopter hits tanks. This anti-air or battlecopter's at 23 fuel. Neo tank infantry. So we've got 2 neo tanks now on the field by Kindle. And does get trapped at the end. Here does hit the battlecopter. Recon or tank hits tank. Tank hits tank again. Hits another battlecopter there. Another battlecopter gets shot. So she's losing a good number of battlecopters. And here appears to be out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, it is in range. Does not take up the 1 health tank there. It's probably close to 1% health right now. And do now have another Typhoon summon. Good amount of global damage. Tank, infantry. And Kindle has resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started on next replay, I do need to grab a little bit of extra layer. I'm getting a little bit cold at the moment. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I am back. I always feel like my apartment doesn't maintain a steady supply of heat. Let's see now. We can do this one. Did I do this one last week? Can't remember actually. Let's just go to this one then. Yep, let's just do this one. And yep, this map is tall rather than wide, so this should be good. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the south side as the Green Earth Olaf, we got Gimme Candy. Spawn on the north side as the Yellow Max, we got Companion Trapezoid. Let's go ahead and get started. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport, 2 comm towers for both players, though the 2 in the center here are in diagonals or contestable. So, can go either way. Usually this pipe scene really locks down the space, or makes it hard to exit. You have to go all the way around through double or triple forests. So it's only really meant for infantry going this way. If you want to get vehicles out this way, you have to destroy it. This map does offer a decent amount of income, but you can generally make use of these 2 bases here for deployment of your vehicles. Though using artillery to clean up wouldn't be half bad, which is something that Max can't really do. Infantry, and recon. Another tank by Olaf. I just heard my heater kicked on. After I just put another layer. Oh well. Neither side has gone too close to the or starting to get close to the comm towers, but neither of them started capturing it. This comm tower's bar would be obtained by Max. Olaf will claim his as well. Max will start, or Olaf can start catching up this. Comm tower if so choose. Hits that infantry unit there twice. A little bit bait though. The tank can push forward and take it on. Just needs a bit of scouting, like interrupting his capture. Or the recon can do its job. Like that. His infantry unit twice, and I'll get a good defense stars there to get a first great strike there. Not to mention he has plus 2% firepower on it. Tank. Or tank infantry. Does interrupt this capture, and can be hit again by this recon next turn. Artillery, infantry, and tank. So Olaf's going for a healthy number of artillery. Max, of course, right now has double recon, triple tank on the field. Max does go for battlecopter. Recon does strike a recon. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Max does have 18,000 funds in the banks. He could go for medium tank this turn. Hits the recon there, hits the infantry unit there, so to capture. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Tanks push forward, does take the recon. In range of the tanks though. It have some good artillery coverage though, and that is currently out of vision range for Max. Recon may have trouble getting down there. Can reach down there and see it. But will he do that? Both players have 2 comm towers now. Does spot the artillery in the auxiliary. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. And with that artillery there, he decides not to push forward. Olaf is attacking. He's some outlying units there. Started capturing the city there. Olaf making some great progress this turn. Tank, and infantry. Does hit the tank there and there. Get 2 first strikes. Does use the max force power, which will allow him to perhaps range both these artillery. The battlecopter is in range, so is the tank, and not to mention get a lot of extra firepower going, so artillery pieces will be going down. Massive losses there by Olaf. I mentioned his other 2 tanks here got first striked. Very close to his superpower. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, instant 118 versus 83, so Olaf is pretty far behind right now. Not to mention has less income. Comm tower being threatened can be interrupted by these 2 infantry units though. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, tank hits tank, and tank hits tank, infantry hits infantry, and infantry hits the infantry. It does pop a superpower mid-turn, close to the end of the mid. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Olaf's turn. Looks like Max in terms of 95, Olaf's in terms of 92, so they're pretty even at the moment. Battlecopter hits tank, tank hits tank, maybe infantry hit tank again. Tank hits tank, infantry hits infantry, tank finish off tank, infantry hits infantry. Olaf looks like getting a lot of good strikes there. Max does a good core of tanks here and a battlecopter. And infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Olaf right now has 3 battlecopters, and Max has 3 battlecopters, though his battlecopter is back here. I think he was trying to destroy this pipe scene a little bit with this battlecopter here. He does delete the cruiser. Okay, so good hits there on these infantry units there. You have to take out one health tank if so chooses. Tank, infantry, infantry. Max force available once again. Does finish off the anti-air. Takes the battlecopter there as well. Tank, infantry, infantry, and battlecopter. Another max force pop. Hits the tank there, and again. Tank hits anti-air, tank hits anti-air, or tank hits tank. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, and tank. Battlecopter does strike tank and gets picked off by a tank. Makes good progress there. Overall, it's been a bit of a meat grinder of a game. Both players constantly sending assets in the center of the map, but neither player is getting any decisive victory or lead. Very close, another Winter Fury. It's a tank twice. And do now have another Winter Fury available. Battlecopter, it's battlecopter. Infantry, infantry, and infantry with a battlecopter, saving 9,000 money, which is going to be hit pretty hard. 75,000 versus 68,000. Not 67, not 69, just 68. Now 58 and 55. Good turn there by Olaf. Max only has 3 tanks, has less tanks than battlecopters at the moment. Well, Olaf has a good amount of force here. Max does have more units field, so he got hit up by Winter Fury a little bit harder. But he has a superior number, just lacking value to say the least. Hits the pipe seam. Battlecopter, tank, anti-air, and infantry. Hits a pipe seam there. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry. It does not interrupt the capture there. It does stop the capture there. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and infantry. Pipe seam does get struck. Battlecopter, infantry, recon, double recon to reconnoiter the area. Throws a lot of units in that infantry unit there. Max force is now available. Battlecopter, tank, battlecopter, tank, infantry. Does interrupt the capture there. And Olaf's not pushing up north at the moment. Artillery, tank, and infantry. Battlecopter, recon, and infantry. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter hits tank. Tank hits tank. Nowhere near close enough for Winter Fury. We're probably going to see a max force next turn. Tank, recon, battlecopter, infantry. Max force immediately. Battlecopter will strike tank there, putting some good damage into it. Does finish it off. Infantry unit does defeat the infantry unit there. Battlecopter hits tank. Tank hits tank. Infantry unit hits infantry unit there. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Full health battlecopter does take it out. Anti-air will take out that said battlecopter as well. Anti-air gets struck pretty hard. Feels like a pretty good turn for Max so far. We drop the infantry unit there. Winter Fury gains pretty close, and there's a lot of targets in front of him. ATR can take out Battlecopter, so he can get quite a bit of power charge this turn, to say the least. Does finish it off there. Battlecopter hits tank. Battlecopter hits tank. Tank hits tank. Infantry unit gets knocked out. Hits the infantry unit there. Hits the infantry units across the front line. Plus he's going to be getting a little bit short for the Winter Fury. Tank, infantry, and Battlecopter. Winter Fury is now available. Hits the ETR. Does take some good hits there. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Winter Fury there. He did skimp out a little bit, saving 9,000 funds. Battlecopter hits tank. Does finish off that tank there. ETR does not get taken out. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. And sort of 94,000. Well, Max still has more, so he's in a pretty good position right now. Not to mention extra monies in the bank. That's the infantry unit there. That's another round into the pipe scene. So for the Winter, that gives him enough time to get forward. He actually is down to 15 health in the pipe scene. It's actually getting pretty close to take it out. Got a Neo tank on the field. Instant 118 versus 75. So Olaf's getting pretty far behind. Good shots there. Medium tank infantry. That medium is going to be useful against the Neo tank, but it's going to be harder to engage. No power-based movement. Not to mention it's already slower. Tank, infantry, and Battlecopter. Another medium tank there, so we'll also help you out medium tank. He still has less income, 18,000 versus 20,000 income. Medium tank, infantry, and infantry. Does manage to pick up a pipe scene. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Max Blast is almost available. Does get some good hits there. Max does have 3 column towers at the moment, which is quite significant, to say the least. Max captures some more properties, which is going to be a very big problem. Does strike the medium tank, does also put a... Sorry, I sort of missed that. He popped the superpower after the Battlecopter connected. Pops the superpower to allow his Neo tank in range. Allow him easy to take that out. He is in range of artillery piece now. Those the Battlecopter there. Does... Oh, he had vision of it. Don't worry about the shaded part. There's infantry right next to it. Bit of a clean sweep over here as well, but losing that medium tank with a first strike is a huge problem. Max also has quite a bit of money right there. Goes for triple infantry and Battlecopter. Saves 15,000 funds. We also got 15 units versus 44. 150,000 versus 82. Oh, and there's a resign button there. This ain't great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I already did that matchup today. This one shall do. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Daisy Ruin, not Daisy Ruin, White Web replay. The red effect is technically Daisy Ruin. Well, on bottom right side is a blue moon eagle, we got F Tiger. Well, on top left side is a purple lightning Olaf, we got low elo nobody. This is a 3-base map, one airport, comm towers over here, they are contestable. You also start off a black boat on top of your HQ. Recon deployed out by both sides. Another pair of infantry there. Recon rotating its way forward. Recon infantry. We got double recon by Eagle. Olaf will probably go for a tank. This turn has 10,000 monies in the bank to allow him to get tank infantry, or go to go for battlecopter infantry and then commit double base skip. Recon does get stuck. It's also no defense towers, while the other recon's on 2 defense towers, so maybe for Olaf just take a shot there. Voice is starting to crack already, that's great. With the recon will get the first strike there, getting some damage going. Infantry, and tank. Recon straight forward, flanks around the recon. Hasn't surrounded, at least from this side. This recon still can fall back out of this region. And can always be a fallback save this force there, forcing both recons to scout it out and then allow tank get a good strike in return. Heads down south for the winter. Let's around the pipe scene there. Tank is in a position to hit, retaliate against the recons as they push forward this direction. Possibly Eagle lose both his recons next turn. Does spot that recon there, and we'll lose that recon to the tank there. And it's currently in vision range from this infantry unit. Battlecopter infantry. There goes that recon. Tank, recon, infantry. Starting to capture that city there. Tank hits tank. Artillery, and infantry. It's that infantry unit twice. And it is trying to capture the comm tower up here. It looks like we'll be able to get it, so there's going to be a short window where Olaf will have both comm towers. He has a handful of infantry units nearby to keep this one secured. He spies a tank there on top of HQ. Black boat down to 14 fuel. This one's down to 9. You need to get an APC out if you want to save it. Looks like he's not. Battlecopter, triple infantry. Olaf and Eagle may want to eye for some inky airs relatively soon. Does hit the tank up north. But Olaf will have both comm towers. Keep this infantry inside the forest, ready to interrupt the capture in the future. Captures the comm tower. Battlecopter, triple infantry. It's the infantry unit up north. Does hit the recon up north. Tank, and infantry. You have a power available for Olaf. Probably won't be deploying it. It's situationally only useful when defending to slow down opponent's lightning strike. Tank, recon, and infantry. Infantry unit does take a bit of damage up there. And it hits this unit there. 5 capture or 10 capture progress remaining, so still has plenty of health or plenty of time to capture or progress left, but I can't think right now. Infantry unit does hit infantry unit there. 5 capture progress remaining at 1 health. Does hit the artillery. Interrupts the capture. Hits the infantry unit back here. Battlecraft heading down south as well. Hits out the infantry unit there. For now, Eagle has 18,000 versus 16,000 income. Battlecopter tanked infantry and infantry. Comm tower has been joined and captured. 4 capture progress remaining. Winter Fury is available. There is a possibility where Olaf can interrupt and stop the capture. Popping a blizzard will allow this battlecraft to be at 1% HP, which means even the 3 health infantry unit can take it out, and the battlecopter could perhaps finish it off. Pops the blizzard. Kills Ash with snow. Takes out the tank there, it's at 1% health. Takes up the recon there at 1% health. Battlecopter goes for the interrupt and does interrupt it. 4 capture progress remaining and has 2 health. He's a tank there. So Olaf will maintain double comm tower. Needs some great picks here. Lightning strike's pretty far away at the moment though. Puts around into the pipe scene. Tank, infantry, and anti-air. It is possible Eagle can fly as a lightning strike this turn, but probably not a good idea to do so. Drone captures 2 capture progress remaining. You basically have to take out the entire squad at this point in time. And does have the battlecopter completely surrounded. If you can't interrupt the capture, go for the tanks. Or cannot stop the capture. It's probably easier to stop the capture than interrupt at this point in time. Lightning strike is now available. Can't say it would be a great idea to deploy out this turn. It could be decent. Anti-air could perhaps take out 2 battlecopters. The anti-air should be resupplied before pushing forward. Did not. It has 1 fuel remaining. It's not like it's going to resupply anything else. And goes for the lightning strike. Does resupply that battlecopter there with what little funds he had. Takes out the battlecopter there. Did not use the anti-air. Did fully capture comm tower. His tank down south. Tank pushing forward, gets a good strike there. Hits the artillery, hits the battlecopter. Tank hits anti-air. Infantry gets hit. Infantry gets down. Tank, and infantry. Oh, black boat sinks to the bottom of the shore. Lots of good damage there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Tank, anti-air. Tank will strike the tank there. Let's start try to capture that comm tower. We do have now Winter Fury available. Unit does go down. Battlecopter gets struck, hits the anti-air there. Trying to flip some cities there. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air, and infantry. Another Winter Fury has been summoned. None of these units are now at 1% health. Like that tank. Does take out the battlecopter. Takes out the pipe seam there. Gets trapped. Cleans up some stuff down south. keeps combat power very nice and safe. Black boat down to 3 fuel. This battlecopter was at 1% health. Does not take out that tank there. Tank does strike tank. Infantry hits infantry. Battlecopter hits tank. 2 fuel. Tank, and infantry. Interrupts the capture there. Does hit the tank up north. Infantry, and tank. Hits that infantry unit there. Tank hits the recon. Hits that tank up north as well. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Gets some good strikes up north. Does take out that tank there. Interrupts the capture as well. 21,000 versus 15,000 income. So got quite a bit of income advantage for Eagle right now. Battlecopter, tank, recon, and infantry. Black boat has sunken to the bottom of the shore, which may be just 2 feet. Does kill the anti-air. Tank, and infantry. Good shots there in the pipe scene. It's a tank there. We do have now lightning strike available. Does go for lightning strike here. Battlecopter, anti-air, and recon. Battlecopter strikes tank. Takes the pipe scene there. Takes the tank there, and twice. Tank hits anti-air. Anti-air hits infantry. Tank hits anti-air. 1 health battlecopter blocks the road, maybe 1%. Does get shot down at least by infantry unit there. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits anti-air, and tank hits anti-air as well. Artillery advances to the pipe scene. Tank, anti-air, and commits base skip. Lots of good strikes up north. Artillery's in range of this tank here. Got a lot of battlecopters right here, and only that has a good number of anti-airs nearby. This 3 Alpha infantry unit there will need to clear out the path for those tanks. The anti-airs get some hits there. Wounded Fury has been summoned. Does puts around that tank. 2 health tank will finish off 1 health tank. We're gonna capture that property there. Anti-air hits battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter hits the anti-air. Tank, and infantry. Artillery, tank, infantry. Slow going this turn due to the snow. And it's around 69,000 versus 73, so they're still pretty even. And not too many things are within vision range at the moment for Olaf. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and commit space skip. 17,000 income versus 19,000 income. He's greatly evened out the income. Tank, and infantry. It's the infantry unit there, trying to capture the counter once again. This counter is still secured by him. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Interrupts that capture. Interrupts the capture. There's a unit on top of the mountain. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Tank hits the artillery. Hits the infantry unit there up north. Hits that infantry unit a couple times. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Hit some of these units. Hits the anti-air as well. He drops his capture by a little bit. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Not in range of this anti-air though. Battlecopter is not in range there either. Tank hits the recon. It interrupts the capture. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. Hits the battlecopter there. Gets trapped by the artillery, who's actually running low on ammo. If 4 counts as low on ammo. Jordan captures on the HQ. This may be game winning. As 7 capture progress remain, so it'll take more than a Winter Fury. Anti-air takes the battlecopter. That one whole infantry unit there could get a nice trap there. It's the artillery. I don't think there's any way for him to reach this. Battlecopter has to go all the way around. If the 2 Alpha infantry unit there does get picked off, he can make his way over here. But did not spot it, and with that he does resign this grade scene. Thank you for watching, and on to next replay. My voice is starting to go out a little bit early today, so I shall end the stream a little bit early. So this grade scene. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.